Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday. We made it. We made it to the end of the week. What a showdown on War 3 Champions Tournament, huh? Hawk taking down the Emperor. Finally. As Hawk moves on to the semifinals. Incredible performance by Hawk. Now, let me make something clear here. I was supposed to cast a lot of today's games on the B stream, and I completely botched the time. I thought the B stream games were starting at 6 p.m. my time. They actually started at 6 a.m. my time. So I wake up this morning, right? And like War 3 Champions Tournament's already going on. Like Neo's clean feed is up. Everything's already started. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? So what I interpreted as CST, I thought it was Central Standard Time in the US. It's actually like Central Europe time. So for tomorrow, oh, sorry, this one. For tomorrow, this is 6 a.m., or sorry, 4 a.m. my time. So, I don't know if I'll be awake at 4 a.m. That is really early. So we're gonna try to get here in time for like Soin versus Sock around like 6 a.m. But these are the times. I'm gonna try to get on as early as I can. I want to make you a promise that I'll do all of them, but 4 a.m. is rough for Saturday morning. I will do my best. I'll be on as early as I can. So if you want to see some War 3 Champions B stream coverage, this is where you want to be. Twitch.tv, OC Drummer for the B stream. And of course, as always, the A stream has you covered. Back to Warcraft edition. Back to Warcraft quality that you come to expect from Neo, Remo, and Carson that you saw all day today. Incredible coverage by Back to Warcraft, as always. But we're not here for War 3 Champions. We're here for Gym Newbie League. And we have a showdown match today between Albz and tonkTanks. It is week 5. Everything is on the line. Gym Newbie League. All comes down to this. Who is going to take it? Who wants it the most? Is it going to be Monkeys? Or Stalling, because I don't know the name. Clutch or Kick. So, there we go. I'm ready. The chat is ready. We got the dramatic music. Hawk just beat Happy. The stars are aligning. And we're ready to go into Game 1 on Concealed Hill. Take it away, GNL. Thank you so much for the follow, Tira Shuru. Appreciate that. Hope you're ready for a very exciting series here as I correct our War 3 booster numbers here. That was from my sad win-loss record last night, the 1-3. So I went 1-3 last night after a couple exciting GNL matches. So I got some work to do in the gym league myself. I got to start studying Warcraft 3 gym.com, where if you go there now, the site has been completely redone. Thank you to Sasha's Baron and everybody else in the gym Discord, in the gym community. The website is really coming together now. It is soon to be your one-stop shop for everything Warcraft 3. You're finding creep routes there, human, night elf, orc, undead, guides, what to do versus those opponents when you're playing that race. Also general mechanics of the game, how experience works, how to manipulate creep camps. You're going to find it all on warcraft-gym.com. And I'll be studying later today because my MMR is free falling right now. I was 1450 last week. I'm like 1370 right now. I gotta hit the books. I gotta get back to the drawing board because I'll tell you what I thought I was doing right, I'm not doing right anymore. And maybe I'll learn a thing or two from our competitors here. As we have Demon Hunter coming out first, and we'll be going up against the Blade Master from Albz. Ancient of War set up, ready to pounce on this orange camp. Archers coming out, Ancient of War getting uprooted, and creeping has now begun. Keeper of the Grove, or sorry, no, Demon Hunter will be out shortly to also help out this camp. And your normal standard route here for our Night Elf player. Blade Master maybe wants to run across the map and do some disruption. Seeing some wisps along the way. This wisp is going to distract this Blade Master, take him off his intended route, doing its job. And at the last moment, probably just going to dispel. So you got to wonder, is this worth it? Chasing this wisp all the way across the map? Is this your goal? What value are you going to get out of maybe killing the wisp? You might kill it, but likely he's going to detonate, and there is the detonate. So now you're 30 mana short, and you're falling behind in your intended strategy of probably going to disrupt the main Night Elf base. But it's okay. Behind all of that, tier 2, about 35% done. Night Elf gonna wrap around to the green camp. It's staying on tier 1 a little while here. Double Ancient of War incoming. Maybe some mass archers. Blade Master wants to get a piece of this sea turtle. And will take it just on time. Snipes the XP. Gonna start slashing up that archer, pull it back. Blade Master wants to windwalk again and maybe just hang around, wait for a re-engagement on this creep. Let tonkTanks do all the hard work and then just come in and snipe it. But instead, opts to surprise. Here's Johnny going for the archer. The Ancient of Wonders is pretty ticked off. These Ancients doing work on that Blade Master. Get the heck out of this base. Back home, tier 2 almost online. Burrows are up. 20 out of 31. Not going to be food blocked when tier 2 comes online. You're going to be in a good spot to transition into the mid game. Did Albz forget to buy items? Let's take a look. Yep, no items on the blade. You know, clarity, heal salves, maybe even selling the TP. See that commonly. Might have helped a lot in that early game harass, because what you want to be doing here, you want to be sniping these creeps, especially the level 3s. You could snipe the creeps, steal the items, and what happens is tonkTanks does all the work for you. Does all the DPS, takes all the damage, and you come in and reap all the rewards. It's really painful to deal with a Blade Master harass while they're following you around all the creep camps. But right now, I'd have to say objectively, Blade Master seems lost. Can't find the Night Elf. Not sure where the Demon Hunter ended up. Demon Hunter's weak too, so gonna have to get back to that Moon Juice, get healed back up. As he does just that. Ancient Protector going down. Reinforce some of the base's defenses here. And Grunt's kind of pooling at the main base, potentially just hanging out for some main base defense, while the Blade Master, I believe, is still trying to find the Demon Hunter. Nowhere to be found. Sneaky boy, that tonkTanks. This Demon Hunter taking full advantage of this Blade Master free creep route. And nice slippers of agility. Agility being the Demon Hunter's main primary stat. Oh, what did that sheep do to you, man? That was mean. Wow. This guy doesn't like sheep.
Forces are under attack.
And over to the easier yellow camp. Shadow Hunter is now out. A couple grunts to help support the creeping. Thank you so much for the follow. Enjoy GNL series. And both players opting to just go for a nice easy creep route. Blade Master, unfortunately, probably didn't have the early game he was hoping for. Demon Hunter was able to freely creep almost all of the early game, and that's certainly going to help with a level 3 impending.
The player's forces are under attack.
Going for the laboratory, may drop some reveals on this base, see what's going on. Tier 2 almost online for the Night Elf. Who will we see come out as a second hero choice, or are we just going to pump DH to level 6 as a solo hero? As you know, and if you were to reference warcraft-gym.com, you would know that a single hero on Tier 2 and Tier 3 do get boosted experience if you only have one hero on the map. You can find that in the How Experience Works tutorial, warcraft-gym.com. And gonna get up to level 3. That mana burn's really gonna help this Demon Hunter, you know, just mitigate the raw amount of Windwalks from the Blade Master. And also, that Shadow Hunter chain heal. Really potent, especially as it scales up to level 3. And maybe buy nice timing here. Able to buy maybe some Invuln Pod or a Scroll of Healing. Although Albz doesn't have much economy at the moment. Nice cancel here from Albz, and Albz needs to get ready. Needs to prepare to come home and defend his base. Pitlord is on the menu. Grosser, thank you for the follow. And Pitlord is going to be a welcome addition to this Night Elf army. A nice beefy front line for this strong DPS backline here. And the TP is in, just staying up, but the shop will fall. 5 grunts. Very powerful frontline orc army with Shaman to follow. 2 Shaman now online. You have to respect this as the Night Elf player. You can't take this fight. You're going to have to back off and get back to creeping. Taking a wisp along the way. Here we go. You know, Shaman continuing to come out. Still at rank 0. So no Lightning Shield yet. No Bloodlust yet. I'm going to go for the surround on the Ogre Lord. Did you pull it out far enough to where it's going to start bugging out? Yes, you did. Very nice, Albz. Like to see that. Minimizing the damage you're going to take from the Ogre Lord. The Ogre Lord does do a ton of damage. A nice surround there on the Ogre Lord to make creeping this camp that much easier. Nice attention to the minor details there. Every little advantage you can get in a game, it all snowballs and adds up at the end and makes your late game battles that much easier. Very nice. And Blade is rewarded for level 3. For a nice smooth, relatively smooth red camp pretty early in the game at the 8-minute mark. Night Elf going for some of the easier camps. Both red fountains are still up, so those items are up for grabs, and players are going to want to get a piece of those as soon as they can. It will be a little tough for the Orc to creep that. Not a lot of range besides the Shaman and the Shadow Hunter. Maybe some Wards that would go down to help.
A player's forces are under attack.
Much easier time taking those red fountains will be tonkTanks. A lot of archers and hippos to help out. And to go with that anti-air analysis of the Orc army, a lot of hippos with archers mounted on top, it's going to be pretty tricky for the Orc to deal with, especially if the Blade Master doesn't have a Lightning Orb yet to be able to make his attacks ranged. It's certainly going to be tough. Pitlord's still on level 1. Definitely want to get him up to level 2. Rain of Fire will certainly help. You know, zone out some of the Orc army, forcing them to constantly move. But caught this Wisp potentially going to Expo. So that was a nice snipe by Albz. And pretty well played so far by both players. Not a lot of gold pool on either side, using the economy effectively, even at the 1200 MMR level. Both players doing quite well so far. But we're going to see how they fare in a battle of micro right now. Howl of Terror going out, and the Grunt's going to reduce their damage by 4. Blade Master being forced to retreat slightly, getting into better position to surround that Demon Hunter. Get a lot of damage on that Demon Hunter. Hero focus coming in from Albz onto the Demon Hunter. Is it enough? Demon Hunter does pop a healing potion. And now the surround on the Pit Lord. The Pit Lord just barely squeezes through and gets out in safety. And now the Grunts are falling, getting focus fired by the air, by the Hippogriffs. And a small stalemate here as both players retreat slightly. Healing Wave goes out to get those Grunts healed back up to full. Can we get a diamond surround on the Pit Lord? No. Pit Lord gets out just in time as Blade Master going to work on these archers. Had a wall blocking the Demon Hunter there for a second, but the wall was broken. And the Demon Hunter did slip back through as Night Elf gets into offensive position, pushing the Orc back. How did that Pit Lord get so skinny? You're right. He turned into a Death Knight right there. Last I checked, only Death Knights can squeeze through pixels. Not Pit Lords. And certainly not Archmages. Not biased at all. Not bitter at all. about my Archmage getting stuck inside my own base countless times. Ugh. Good times. I'm not even kidding you. My Archmage would get stuck here. Like, back here. Would not be able to walk through here. But a Death Knight could walk through here. I'm serious.
Forces are under attack.
Unbiased. All jokes aside, back over to the red camp. Night Elf wants a piece of these items. And these items are certainly going to help into the late game. Red Drake is going to drop. Where did the item go? Oh, there it is. Boots of Quel'The Velocity. Demon Hunter's going to love that. Extra boost to agility. Now +9, plus damage, plus attack speed, plus armor.
Player's forces are under attack.
Very nice upgrade for the Demon Hunter there. Demon Hunter auto attacks are going to start getting potent. Those mana burns on the Blade Master, on the Shadow Hunter, certainly going to help as we enter the mid-game. 49 food to 50 food. Both players not breaking upkeep, banking as much as they can on one base. Like to see that attention to detail as well. But, speak of the devil, tonkTanks has decided to break upkeep into 52 food army. Now, needs to make a choice. You've broken upkeep, your opponent has not. Your opponent is going to be banking more. The longer this goes, the better position Albz is going to be into the late game, as he's just going to have 30% more gold. Now Albz wants a piece of this camp. Some headhunters to help out, but the timer has begun. Now the Night Elf is here attacking your base. What are you going to do? Are you going to stick around? No. No TP. Gonna have to manually walk back, but a scroll of speed has been popped. Trying to get back as soon as possible. It looks like a bestiary is going to fall for the time it is taking, and Night Elf is just gonna run away, and perfectly, right around the trees. Just missed, you know, took the long way around the trees, and the Night Elf just scurried away. Senteza123, thank you for the follow. Enjoy. Game 1. In our week 5, the final week of GNL. And going back to this red camp, now the Night Elf is going to steal it. Probably notices that this is likely where the Orc was before he came to defend his base. And another Boots +6. The Demon Hunter is going to be attacking like Angel Arena Demon Hunters. Soon enough. Oh my lord. +12, +15 agility once, and the Orb of Venom. As soon as the Pit Lord potentially gives this Boots over to the Demon Hunter.
Player's forces are under attack.
Is he going to give it up? Yeah, +15 agility, +20 attack damage. This is a scary Demon Hunter, and you do not want to see this Demon Hunter in Metamorphosis. The Chad Hunter. Maybe want to get a invulnerability potion here. You're going to need all the help you can get as this Demon Hunter is getting into very scary territory. Not to mention a Pit Lord also getting scarier by the minute. Potential clash here. Some Druids of the Talon ready to cyclone that Orc army. Ready to cyclone that front line. Allowing the Hippos to freely kind of just get snipes off on those Kodos, on those casters. And Hippo's going to lead the charge here, getting snipes down on those Shaman, just like you want to on the unarmored Shaman. Really hard to see what's going on here, but Demon Hunter attacking so fast, just slicing that Blade Master as it does get Cyclone, spin to lose. Shadow Hunter and Blade Master joining each other and dancing in the skies. However, Pit Lord going to town on this back line. Demon Hunter slicing at 5 attacks per minute. He is attacking so fast on the Blade Master, forced to windwalk and retreat by a potion. There is visibility. He can see you in the shadows. Pit Lord continuing to go to town on the back line here. Shadow Hunter healing everything it can, trying to keep the Blade Master sustained. Demon Hunter falling quickly, gonna have to be careful, and will TP back. Must respect this as the Night Elf retreats back. 45 food. Albz with 42 food and successfully held it off. Now, even though the Shadow Hunter fell, Orc's not in a terrible position. Demon Hunter, I don't believe, got to level 5 yet. And you are in position to put some pressure. Got to get that Shadow Hunter back soon, though. Night Elf did suffer some losses there. So Shadowhunter is insta-purchase back. Insta-revive. Buying that potion of mana, trying to get back up to a respectable mana level. Clarity popped. Heal salves potentially going around. Blade Master preparing for what might be the final battle of the game. Gonna go for one of also the final creep camps in the game. An easy green camp that does give Pitlord a critical level 4. Going to see it spent on Halaterror. Thank you for the follow, 342. Get ready for what might be the final showdown. Illusions have spawned. Maybe gonna go check out this expo, make sure nothing has come up. And both players, I believe, have crept the entire map, so it's going to come down to who has the better army, who has the better micro. No more creeping to be done. Demon Hunter stuck at 4.9, just one more unit kill. Maybe 2. Gonna give him a critical level 3 mana burn. Gonna be really tough to deal with that level 5 Demon Hunter, and you better not get him to level 6. Level 6 Demon Hunter can carry you to any victory against any army. Thank you, Leo Silva, for the follow. Appreciate it. Alright, and here we go. Night Elf wandering back down. Potentially putting some more pressure on that Orc Bait. Forcing him back. Taking down this Voodoo Lounge. Maybe forcing a TP. Do we have a TP? Not again. No TP. Caught on the heels again. Night Elf here to maybe snipe some burrows as well. These burrows are not reinforced. Can easily be sniped down by the Hippogriffs. But instead going to opt to get into better position instead. Blade Master starts going to town on these Talons. One less Cyclone to deal with, but correctly morphed into Druid form, into Crow form, to prevent death, and maybe morph back into Talon form to get those Cyclones rolling in what could be the final battle of the game. Gonna get back, gonna get healed up to full, and maybe get in good position of keeping down this Mana Fountain. This is a hard fight to take as the Orc player. I don't know if you want to fight when the Night Elf is just sitting on top of the fountain. Because if you fight here, the Night Elf's going to have constant healing. You don't want to fight here. And Albz knows this. He's just going to wait outside. Who's going to make the first move? It's a Western standoff right there. Both players have their hands on their revolvers. Who is going to pistol flip and fire first? And maybe seen here. Hippogriff's going to go maybe cancel this Great Hall. This is a nice play here by tonkTanks. Able to swoop around and cancel this Great Hall. And maybe even fly over and cancel some burrows as well. That might have been the initial plan. He might have just accidentally ran into the Great Hall. Pulling a Christopher Columbus here. Just accidentally discovering America. Worked out pretty well.
The player's forces are under attack.
And this is going to be tough. Hippos are pretty vulnerable to these burrow arrows. And the burrows are populated. But they are perfectly safe back here, ready to take out this bestiary. And the Night Elf just kind of sitting up here, preparing. Maybe going to go defend this expo. As it will... Oh, it would have been scouted, but the illusion did run out. Hey, if you want good history references, you're going to have to hop over to Patrician. I am not qualified to give you history lessons, but I can do corny lines like I just did. Those I can do for you. Can't promise they'll be historically accurate either. An Orc forcing the Night Elf to respect this attack. Hippogriffs are way behind, so this could be a good opportunity for the Orc to put pressure on the Night Elf. Force a fight right now while the Hippos are out of position, but the Hippos are going to potentially hit you from the back, and they're in bad position right now, taking a lot of damage from the Headhunters. One Hippo is going to fall, only 6 remain. And the battle has begun. Mana burn going out on the Blade Master, minus 100 mana. The Blade Master is getting focused, and now Cyclone. Grunt falls as well. Scroll Protection popped, giving an extra armor to the Orc army. Shadowhunter getting into better position, gonna want to heal itself back up to full as the Blade Master caught out of position and falls due to the high focus fire damage of the Night Elf. Shadowhunter also falling, minus 100 mana and minus 100 health. Both heroes have fallen for Albz, and Albz is looking grim right now. As all headhunters are fallen, GG is called Game 1 on Concealed Hill, going to tonkTanks. Really nice back and forth there from both players. Really good creeping from Albz, I have to say. Like, doing the little things, like trapping the Ogre Lord. Also trying to take the Red Fountain, but you got interrupted. I feel like not having that scroll of TP was tough. It was really tough. You got caught on your heels a lot. And then you had to kind of run over manually, right? So that certainly hurt. The Night Elf had map control here. The Night Elf was pulling you around, right? Ping-ponging you all over the map. And that's, when you're in that situation, your back's against the wall the whole time, right? The stress builds up. You start doubting things. You're overthinking. And the Night Elf just had full control over where you were going to be on the map, right? Prevented you from creeping the fountain. Forced you to run back and forth several times. So, as a result of all of that, tonkTanks took Game 1. Let's update Booster here, and let's also get a prediction going, huh? Let's get a prediction going. Who is going to take Game 2? No, I don't want to raid. I want to predict. Let's get a prediction. Alright, who takes Game 2? Albz or tonkTanks? 2 minutes. Get your votes in, everybody. Oh, don't wait for me, guys. You guys are good to go. Let's get it. Alright, hope you're all ready. Game 1 was a nail-biter as we head over to Autumn Leaves for Game 2. Were bats used? Nope, no bats. No air units for the Orc player. Just Grunts, Shaman. The Night Elf opted for Hippogriffs, Druids of the Talon. Demon Hunter, Pit Lord. Orc had Blade Master, Shadowhunter. A really exciting Game 1 there from our... Again, this is 1200 MMR. I was pretty impressed with the level of play there. Not a ton of critical mistakes. I mean, yeah, maybe in the battles, some heroes were out of position from the Orc player there, but overall, creep routes were pretty good. The creeping itself wasn't too bad. The builds were good. Night Elf got the Druids of the Talon, had the Cyclones rolling on the Blade Master, keeping it at bay, preventing it from doing auto attacks. That's exactly what you want to be doing here, and it was 1200. I mean, what does that say about my MMR? I'm 1370. And like I said, my MMR is falling into the earth like a screaming meteor right now. Every game, I am just falling further and further down. It's like I said, I got to get back onto WarcraftGym.com and check out some of those new tutorials, some of those new creep routes, because I have some room to improve myself, and you can see very clearly these two have been studying. Very impressive Game 1, but tonkTanks had what it took to take Game 1. Very definitively. Especially towards that endgame. And Blade Master coming out yet again is going to go against the Keeper this time. So Blade Master's going to be very happy about having some mana this game. but want to see a better early game from the Blade Master. Last time, Blade Master didn't have items. The shop is a little late, so you're probably not going to be able to bring items anyway this time. But what I see a lot from Blade Masters, they sell that TP and they buy items so you can sustain the harass. Because right now, you're not going to be able to sustain a harass, but instead it's going to opt to just do some creeping. Oh, an AKM build order? Wow. I mean, I don't know if anyone could write that up besides the legend AKM himself. I've tried to understand or even, like, predict if an... Here's how AKM games go, and I could draw, like, a flowchart in Paint. It starts out terrible, right? He just sits there with one Blood Mage, no units, not even a barracks. 10 minutes are in the game, still no units. Still a Blood Mage, and oftentimes the Blood Mage is like level 1, 10 minutes into the game. And then magically, you're at the 15-minute mark, and the orange bird is out. There's 15 casters, a couple knights, and the Blood Mage is roasting all of the acolytes or peons at the opponent's expo and the opponent's main base, and the opponent just implodes on itself. They're some of the most obscure, weird matches I've ever seen in my life. But it works. He's just so good at it. He has it nailed down to a T. Blade Master wants a piece of this creep camp potentially, but you're going to get entangled, sir. Be careful. This keeper is able to lock you down. Blade Master going to go finish off, wants a piece of this item. Maybe let the Night Elf finish this off for you. Checking on the macros here. Tier 2, about 60% done. Tier 2 yet to be started for the Night Elf. And then maybe a little preemptive there. Night Elf might be able to snipe this XP. Blade Master is entangled, not able to take the XP, but able to take the Claws of Attack +5. So nice entangle there to at least be able to get the XP. Securing level 2. And pushing the Blade Master back. Nice battle of wits here at the early game creep camps. Check it back in the macro. Everything looks pretty good here. Burrows online, not going to be supply blocked once we get to tier 2. That's fantastic. Double Ancient Award, just like game 1. Potentially going to see some more Archer push. But here come the Huntresses. Might see some mass hunts coming from our game 1 victor, tonkTanks. Alright, gonna go for one of the easier green camps as well in the corner of Autumn Leaves. Sending the Treants to do your bidding, soak up all that damage. Like to see that. Want to minimize the amount of damage on that main army to be ready for the incoming early game attacks from the Blade Master. Also gonna take down this Ogre Magi, take a Tome of Strength and Ogre Strength. +5 strength overall going to the Blade Master right there. Little HP boost isn't gonna hurt you. But would have probably preferred to have some agility for some primary stat. And continuing creeping along here. So tier 2 just starting for the Night Elf. A little late, but if you are going to do a mass Huntress push, perhaps okay. But I would be worried about this level 2 Shadow Hunter now. Like, typically, if you're going mass hunts, it's happening a little earlier in the game and you're doing some potential all-in pushes with ballistas. Not sure how effective Huntress at the 7-minute mark is going to fare for tonkTanks here. Blade Master now looking scary. +15 damage with all of those claws. It's looking like Happy's Lich inventory here.
A town is under siege.
As fate has shined upon Albz here with some good creep items. Like to see this Treants disrupting the peons, but Orc is going to respect this attack, push the Night Elf back. Orb of Lightning, oh no, just a normal purge from the Shaman here as Shadow Meld is put on just in time to save the Huntress. Do we have any dust or anything available to reveal this Huntress? Would like to get this kill. Or else this Huntress is going to scurry away at the worst time. Well done, some nice control there, not accidentally moving it with a control group like I would have done.
A player's forces are under attack.
I would have hit 1 and then right-click, and then my Huntress would have moved out and killed itself. So I'd like to see that attention to detail from tonkTanks here, but potentially getting creepjacked, entangling that Shadow Hunter, rooting it in place. Blademaster going to work on these archers. Grunts a little bit behind, trying to get into better position here. Ensnare from the Trapper on the Huntress. That's certainly going to help out Albz here. Take out a Huntress, but entangles going out on the Grunts, locking them in place. Huntress's retreat, Keeper retreats, and the Trapper rigged. Looks like Baron has instructed the Trappers on Audibles to help out Albz. Rigging the match as much as possible here. Ancient of War falls. And Albz leveling the playing field here. 40 food to 31. Night Elves has to be careful here. This could be a strong orc push. 5 grunts, 2 shaman, 2 heroes. Versus only 1 level 3 Keeper of the Grove who's low on mana. This is a nice timing here by Albz. Entangle, last Entangle used, but will soak up that Moon Juice. Potentially another Entangle coming. Huntress is getting focus fired. Gonna take extra damage from these Serpent Wards. Blademaster getting into position to start slicing and dicing the backline of the archers. Huntresses are being pushed back. Keeper of the Grove summoning some treants, but they're stuck! They're stuck back here! Oh no! Purge going off on the treants. Now some focus fire onto the Keeper of the Grove. Huntress is falling quickly due to the... But focus fire instead on the Keeper of the Grove. Maybe want to see these Serpent Wards onto the Huntresses. Got to get these Huntresses low. Force them to soak up the Moon Juice so the Keeper can't do any more entangles. And the treant's still stuck with his friends in the forest. You got to come out and fight, buddy. You can't hang out. This isn't social hour. Night Elf successfully pushed back the Orc player here, and we're going to take this to the mid-game. As an Expo follows right behind it. Shaman Grunts coming out for our Orc player on Tier 2. Druids of the Talon, yet again, going to see some spin to win from Tonks. And another encounter here. Can't quite get in the position to get a nice surround on that Keeper, because he's going to keep disrupting you all game. And if you can get a Purge on this, nice Purge. Saving that Grunt and a nice heal wave there. Able to safely retreat back. And going to get some damage on these Huntresses. Weak Huntresses right here. Sea Witch's purchase. Maybe going to get some Forked Lightning going off on this Grunt right here. But the Grunt's able to fall just by the damage of the Headhunters and the Keeper of the Grove. Being pushed back. Serpent Ward. Watch out for that Shaman. Can you purge yourself? No mana for it. Can your friend purge you? No, and you're going to fall. Alright, Blademaster going in Viz, trying to check out and scout what is going on. What do I have to deal with back here? You're going to see the double wins if you fall back into the base enough, but I don't believe it was scouted. But I think the Talons have been, you know, they've been seen by now. So you know you're dealing with something similar to Game 1. And another encounter underway. Hunter slightly out of position there. Gonna have to run that back. Maybe a surround on this witch, on this Sea Witch. Some slices on the Sea Witch, bring it down to 70% health. Pretty nice there. Good way to start off this battle, and a Druid of the Talon is going to fall for being out of position here. Some slices going onto the Keeper of the Grove. No mana for entangles. Orc has free reign of this map right now, but watch out, this Grunt is out of position. It's going to fall. A little misplay there by Albz. You would have liked to have that Grunt back. Can't afford these little mistakes right now. You need all the help you can get as the Talons are coming online. Cyclone also coming online as the upgrades have started. Some focus fire onto the Keeper again. Blademaster instead choosing to switch focus onto the Huntresses. Huntresses focusing onto the Grunts, and the Glaives are bouncing back to the Shaman. Entangled. All of the backline casters have fallen for the Night Elf. Now not going to be able to deal with those entangles or those treants. Pulling that Huntress back over to the eastern side of the map. Perfectly safe over here. In good position. And Blade going back. Orc needs to go back and regroup. You've had 2 encounters so far against what I would say is a weaker Night Elf army. but you haven't been able to push the Night Elf back. So we got to regroup, think about how do we counter these Talons. The Talons are here. We got 3 Talons. Gonna have plenty of Cyclones soon, I'd imagine. Well, no tier 3 yet. So Cyclone's here, but no Crow form. So they're not going to be able to escape. If you can get some lockdowns, maybe with some Orb of Lightning. Once that tier 3 is done, with some of those purges. But it's tricky, because you got to save some of those purges for the Cyclones. Save purges for Entangles, for the Treants. You can't afford, really, to be using purges just to lock down Druids of the Talon. So in a really tricky situation here for the Orc player. Maybe you want to creep while you try to figure that out, but we're going to have a battle right now. Night Elf does retreat. Shadow Melded Huntress going to reveal itself, and it's going to be unfortunate. Maybe some lockdowns from the ensnares from the Raiders here. One Druid of the Talon does get ensnared. Huntress did choose to Shadow Meld, hide itself, protect itself. And Focus Fire now going on to these Huntresses. Blade Master getting into better position to secure some of those Huntress kills. Huntresses firing those glaives off at the Grunts. Lightning Shield onto the Blade Master. Blade Master hurting its own units. Watch out! You are hurting your own Grunt back here. Serpent March trying to fend and push the unarmored Huntresses back slightly. And don't want to be leading in with these weak Orc units. That's perfect targets for some entangle and easy snipes. This is 5 food, or 6 food right here. Hippos are here, are online. Maybe going to start picking up some archers, because right now they're useless in the sky. They're just watching from above. Entangle on the Raider. Raider is taken, granting level 2 to the Sea Witch. The Night Elf is slowly scratching and clawing back into this game here. Level 4 Keeper. Level 2 Sea Witch. Orc needs to make a nice, strong pivot to be able to handle this, because right now, you're getting pushed back. Each battle, you've been pushed back. And the Hippos are getting some archer accomplices to fire down on the ground units here. Peons in trouble. Expo also in trouble. Orc, if you want to save your Expo, now's the time to go save it. Maybe get some good ensnares on some of these Talons. Ensnare on the Huntress, certainly going to fall. That's going to help you. -3 food for tonkTanks. You do have 57 food. You do have the army advantage. But that level 4 Keeper is getting scary. Not a ton of purge to go around to deal with those treants, to deal with those critical entangles. And some burrow's going to come up. Would have liked to see that burrow there earlier. And Night Elf wants to engage now. Push the Orc back. Maybe take control of that Expo. And a lot of Focus Fire before the Druid of the Talon can get into Crow form. Hippos in the air, unable to be really damaged by anything but the Shadow Hunter and the Shaman. But it is enough to push the Night Elf back. Tonks needing to retreat. Hippos picking up some archers, firing down on the Raiders. Raider is ensnared by some entangle, will fall. Blade Master getting into good position here to get some Focus Fire onto the ensnared Hippogriffs. Hippogriffs firing down on the back line of the Shaman. And the Blade Master now has Orb of Lightning, able to fire off onto the ranged units, onto the anti-air. And a nice surround by Albz, taking down the Keeper, a critical kill. Turning the game around instantly. Nice diamond surround by Albz. Also, as a consolation prize, taking down the Expo attempt. The time is now, Albz. If you want to win, you must strike. No Keeper. Take it home, buddy. Ensnare on the Hippogriffs. This is looking more and more grim for the Night Elf player. And Albz smells blood in the water of those Moonwells. He's ready to claim victory. Can he do it without overextending? Healing going off onto the Sea Witch. Some Forked Lightning also going off. A lot of injured Grunts here. Don't want them to fall. That's going to be 6 less food, less DPS. Going off onto the Night Elf army. Night Elf retreating back as far as possible. Morphing into Crow form. I'm going to take down the shop. Eliminate any more instant nighttime, any more healing purchases, any more mana purchases. Gonna take down the last of the towers from the Night Elf player. Albz, can he seal the deal? Can he get it done? Keeper the Grove, 60% done. Can we get enough damage on the altar before the Keeper is out? It looks like we will, but the Orc army is so damaged right now. Healing wave going off, saving the Raider. Saving a grunt, but one more Spirit Walker is going to fall. Blade Master chopping up some of the archers, also getting some damage done onto the Hippogriffs and forced to retreat back. Another Raider really low, 8 health, might fall. Some more Raiders here, maybe get some nice ensnares. Watch your Blade Master, don't overextend. This is your time. Nice healing wave going off onto the Blade Master, saving it. As the rest of the units, Blade Master going to be chased back. Keeper is online, instant purchased. Surprise! And it's just enough for the Blade Master to get safe and going to continue chopping down these Moonwells.
Players' forces are under attack.
Get some ensnares on the Hippos while the Blade goes back, potentially buy some items in the shop, and needs to get back to his main army. Finish what you've started. Take down this Night Elf player. Nice purge on that Hippo. Bloodlusting itself. And this Hippo's gonna fall down to 30. Sorry, 29 food. Nice 162 crit by the Blade Master. Now back here, taking down the Ancient of War. You have some injured grunts. Get them in the better position. Don't lose too much here. The Night Elf can get some nice pickoffs here. Keeper level 4 is back. Sea Witch level 3. But low mana and no moon juice really to go around. But you did lose a couple units there. Don't overextend. Don't get cocky. You're right at the end of the line. Take it home. You're going to take down another Crow. That's certainly going to help you. Both players retreating. The Orc knows he needs to make the right final push. Doesn't want to overextend, but at the same time doesn't want to wait too long. Blade Master trying to get some of those purges on that lightning orb. Trying to get a nice surround. Although all Druids of the Talon have morphed into crow form to save themselves. 5 crows, 2 heroes. Is it enough to support the Night Elf attack here? Night Elf trying to get some pokes. A nice entangle on the Headhunter.
A player's forces are under attack.
Nothing that a purge can't handle. But instead the Headhunter is going to take so much damage from that entangle. Maybe fall. Oh, and out just in time with 20 health. A gift. Oh, well, you know, can't win them all. Denied. And some nice ensnares, locking down 2 crows. Blade Master going to chop them up. Bird stew for dinner for the Orc player. And the Blade Master now hitting level 5. You're going to see some beefy critical strikes. This is going to be hard for the Night Elf player to defend against. Look at the crits, 276. Oh my gosh, healing wave going out on the Orc player. Blade Master, get back in there. Start auto-attacking. Destroy. Night Elf is going to have a really tough time dealing with this. Blade Master critting all over the place. As the Moonwells are falling one by one, pushing the Night Elf food supply down. Entangles going out onto the Raiders. This Raider will likely fall as a result of that. Really weak Night Elf army here. As the Orc trying to crush some of the remaining unit production buildings and maybe take down this second to last Moonwell. Raiders are certainly helping here. Not sure if we've upgraded Pillage, but that will certainly help you with some resource count. Speaking of, Albz has did have 3,000 gold, but just spent 700 of it. Now 1,000 of it. Now down to 2,000 gold. Clearly seeing he's been banking a little bit too much. Wants to start spending. Don't you know we're in inflationary times? Albz, cash is crap right now. Invest, my friend. And push the Night Elf back, but the Night Elf is in a really, really tough spot right now. You got the Orc with 2,300 banked. And this could be the end. Entangles down if we can get a surround on this Keeper. Keeper does pop the scroll. Getting back into safety. No moon juice. This Blade Master might be able to just solo this Keeper right now. And the Keeper is getting decimated. Blade strikes left and right, and the Keeper getting obliterated by the Blade Master. GG is called. We're going to Game 3 as Albz takes Game 2. And wow, what a Game 2 from Albz. Not falling behind, not getting disappointed, not letting the bad performance from Game 1 get to his head. made the right adjustments, made the right pivots. And because of that, we're going to game 3. And perhaps the same game name here? Yes, same game name. And before we get into game 3, I want to get us all hyped up. I want to show you all a trailer about what Gym Newbie League is all about. Now, if that doesn't get you pumped up for Game 3, I don't know what will. What you just saw was a trailer for Gym Newbie League. If you're interested in playing with some of the up-and-comers of Warcraft 3, join the Discord, ! Gym in the chat. Join the Discord, check out warcraft-gym.com. Now, your one-stop shop for all things Warcraft 3, learning about the best of the best, the creep routes, the matchups, the mechanics of the game, you name it, you're going to find it on warcraft-gym.com. Thank you so much, Nega Nebulous, for the follow. Both our players are back. We're ready to get into Game 3. A 1-to-1 series, a real nail-biter in the finale of the Gym Newbie League Season 7. We're in Week 5. We're in the final week. How's it going to end? We're going to find out. Albz versus tonkTanks. And we're going to settle the score on Tidehunters. A trailer of just Bidu losing, but he won. The game I cast, the Bidu, he won. I can't make a trailer of someone who's winning. Losing, if they're winning. Now, I tell you what I can make a trailer of. I can make a trailer of me losing. That's easy. Just go to, like, my stream last night. I went, like, 0-3. Easy. That's easy money. Standard opener from the Night Elf here. Also, bottom right, Albz looking to take the series 2-1 with a great comeback in Game 2. Nega, watching in the office. Thank you. Don't get caught at work, my friend. We need you around. We don't want you to get fired. Don't they have that button that you could press that, like, pops up like an Excel spreadsheet, like a fake Excel spreadsheet? I think they make it for, like, the World Cup of soccer and football. For people that were, like, watching the World Cup, and there's, like, it's called, like, a boss button. We need to get something like that going for Gym Newbie League during the day when everybody's working. You're going to see a Warden here for Game 3. Really switching it up. Every game, tonkTanks has got a different hero. First, the Demon Hunter. Second, Keeper of the Grove. Didn't find much success with the Keeper. And now going to opt for a Warden. Meanwhile, Albz very consistent, going for Blade Master all 3 games. Yeah, or just work from home. That's easier, right? Then you can kind of do whatever you want so long as you get your work done for the day. That's kind of situation I'm in, right? Maybe cast a game during the day and work a little bit longer to finish up some things. It's all good, just as long as you're getting the work done, you know? Gonna do some Ancient of War creeping up in the top left here. Blade Master is out in the bottom, potentially gonna go do some creeping of their own, bringing the Grunt along for the ride. And Warden, probably gonna maybe see solo Warden this game. Try to get that Warden up to critical level 3. Some very strong either Fan of Knives or Shadow Strike. And then after that, the Warden starts scaling very fast. Especially if it's solo. Getting up to level 6 quite easily with a, you know, some Shadow Strike snipes, some Fan of Knives to finish off some of the weak units. Really effective against human. Haven't seen too much of it against orcs, so really curious to see what happens here. Warden versus Blade Master. Should be very interesting. Blade Master gonna solo finish off this giant sea turtle here and collect a Mantle of Intelligence. And Warden scurrying around the map, trying to figure out where it wants to creep next. Gonna take this green camp. Blade Master is here, probably seen. Might have popped Windwalk a little bit too late, and I wonder if Shadow Strike's gonna be cast to steal this creep and secure it. And it is. Nicely done by the Warden there. And Blade got a little ticked off and popped Windwalk a little bit early. Now wants this creep, and in rage, just gonna Windwalk back instead of dealing with this Warden. Warden level 2 it's gonna be a little painful to deal with. Shadow Strikes on those the Blade Master, and those units do add up. I have not hosted that video anywhere, Baron, but I can host it on YouTube. Yeah.
A player's forces are under attack.
And I could make more trailers. Like, that was relatively easy to make. iMovie has like a trailer builder thing in there. I didn't even know it had it. So I was like playing around with it one day, and I just like downloaded a couple of my casts and I just put the pointer to random battles. I didn't even like really plan it that well. Besides like the last clip, I wanted that Pit Lord killing the Archmage in the last clip. It was pretty quick, and I could make like all sorts of cool trailers pretty easily with low effort, because iMovie does like all the heavy lifting for you.
Are under attack.
Back to the creep routes here. Warden gonna take down this green camp pretty easily. Cloak of Shadows. Gonna get some daytime invisibility if needed, but I would imagine it gets soul. Completely useless at night. Blade Master with those nice items. Healing salves, clarity pots. Am I in software? Yes, I am. Software engineer. I did make the Veto app on for Gym Newbie League, so warcraft-gym.com, you can see the map veto application to help you with your vetoes against your opponents, because it's just so annoying to do it in Discord or the Warcraft chat. So I just spun up a quick app in React and Firebase to make that a little bit easier. So if people like it and I get some good suggestions, I know Sasha's has been giving me some good suggestions behind the scenes. I definitely want to improve it. Maybe we could use it at the pro levels if pros do like using tools like that. We could extend it for DreamHack ESL, War 3 Champions vetoing. It's pretty easy to extend. Although a slight error here, have a lot of peons on this gold mine. I would doubt that is 7. It looks like 8.
Players' forces are under attack.
Gonna want to get these peons back onto lumber. Hopefully that gets seen sooner rather than later. That's gonna add up to a costly lumber deficit for you, Albz. And continuing to creep on up the map here. Warden looking like going to go solo. Tier 2. Online. Ultravision. And strike for the moon. Gonna get these archers some attack upgrades here. Warden kind of stuck back here. Not sure if this was intended, but nothing that a blink can't fix. Oh, and a Demon Hunter second. So gonna opt for 2 hero here for our Night Elf player. Not going to solo this Warden up to a quick level 5, quick level 6. And just checking on the macros here. Peon mistake, unfortunately, still happening. Bestiary, maybe going to go some Raiders. Did see some success getting those lockdowns with Ensnare last game. It's very nice to see that. And gonna take over this shop, potentially buy some invuln pots that are coming up. A nice timing here. Getting here right when the invuln pots come up. At the 7-minute 20-second mark. But not gonna go purchase any. But in general, if you did hit that creep camp and you did want those items, very nice timing.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, going for the natural. Maybe an expo attempt. Still has not checked out the main base to see these peons just watching the work get done. It's like a construction project on the road. 9 people watching, 1 person doing. Gotta get those peons to work. As Tree of Life coming over, getting ready to root down and start an expo up for the Night Elf player at the level 7 Gargantuan camp. Gonna take this down. Meanwhile, Orc player getting some scrolls, heal salves, get these grunts healed back up to full, Blade Master healed up, and an escape insurance policy. The scroll of speed. We're gonna eat a couple trees, get some extra repair on this wisp. Not even sure if this is necessary here, but eating trees is gonna do plenty good for you. Get that tree planted down, start mining right away. And across the pond here, Orc player potentially gonna visit the Night Elf base. Maybe take down this Ancient of Wonders. Let me go for the Ancient of War first. 2 Ancient of Wars in the back, well protected, in good position. And Ancient of War also in position to deal some melee damage to these grunts. Wisps are going to come out and repair this back up to full, but you might want to be repairing this instead. The shop is going to fall. Warden blinking in, but getting hexed immediately. Hexed, very powerful for heroes like the Warden. Preventing the Warden from casting spells. Dryads getting chopped down by the Blade Master, by the grunts. Blade Master did pop to the south side of this fight. Grunts falling quickly with the poison arrows, sucking down the health of the grunt player. Man, Blade Master trying to chop up the Warden, but Warden just is too quick. Got back out and healed back up with the Moonwell. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter, mana burning now on the Blade Master. This is not what the Blade Master enjoyed in Game 1, and almost for its troubles got surrounded. But Demon Hunter was able to squeeze out in time. Ancient of War still continuing to do melee damage on the army of the Orc player. And the Orc has now had enough. Gonna take you out. The Raider certainly gonna help here with the siege damage. Not sure if we have pillage, but you're gonna want to get that pillage upgrade. I think you do. I can't tell what's behind this tree. It is some of tonkTanks' army, maybe an archer. Grunts focusing down on these archers, doing a lot of damage to the medium armor of the archers right now. 0 armor, taking amplified damage from the normal attacks of the grunts, but they are slow due to the envenomed spears from the dryads. Orc now coming in hot, opting to do some slices on the Moonwells as 2 bears come out, but they're rank 1. They can't morph into bear form. All they can do is cast some rejuves. Nothing that can't be purged away. Purge on the rejuvenation from the Warden. Really nice attention to detail there, as this grunt may fall due to focus fire from the Demon Hunter and the Warden, but the Warden is ensnared, forced to be TP'd back, pushing the Night Elf back, and Tier 2 is now getting started for the Bears. To take down this Hunter's Hall, going to make it a little more difficult to get some of those upgrades out. And attacks, auto attacks have begun on the Bears. Bears are really weak right now in Druid form. Need to get them into Bear form. Grunts falling, maybe want to pull some of these bears back, get some healing wave onto these grunts. Orc army falling, lose a couple more casualties than you would like to see, having this much of an advantage here. Blade Master going into Windwalk, opting to take down the Demon Hunter, did get an ensnare. Can we get a surround? No surround on the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is able to escape. Warden falling quickly, no mana for a blink. We can see you. Oh, but not anymore! The ensnare goes away and with 22 health. Warden is just going to stick around and watch its base fall. And a nice rejuve on the Warden, but the Warden almost got surrounded again and blinked out into safety. Ensnared, we see you, but the rejuve is so strong. No purge on it yet. Blade Master did retreat back for Dust and Scroll of Healing. And the bears still, they now can morph into bears. This bear does morph into bear form. This Druid of the Claw putting rejuves on the Demon Hunter, trying to save it. And morphed into bear form itself. Now the bears are getting pretty powerful, but they will take full damage from all of these units with heavy armor. One bear does fall. Demon Hunter with another rejuve. Need to get some of those Shaman Purges going on these rejuves. These rejuves will add up and keep these heroes in the battle for a very long time. Raiders falling, Grunt falling, Orc army is dwindling as one bear also must fall. And an Ensnare on the Warden, but a rejuve. The rejuve's going to heal up almost any attack damage you're doing. We need to get Shamans, need to get Purge. All the reveals in the world from your Dust is not going to do anything. The bear rejuve is just too strong. And Night Elf, due to some critical rejuvenation casts, keeps all of the units in the battle. And no Shamans to dispel it with Purge. Gonna have to make a small pivot adjustment here. Need more Shaman in those battles. Need to keep them protected to prevent those rejuves from healing those heroes up. Or maybe some Spirit Walkers for some AoE disenchant. If you're worried about too much, you know, if you're worried about a lot of roar, a lot of rejuve, consider that. But now Ancient Protector's going up. A couple Moonwells also to protect this base, keep the army full health. This is going to be tough to come back from. Orc had a nice opportunity, nice timing here, but I would say a slight overextension. Not having enough Purge. Scroll of TP purchased from the Warden. But Warden does have Blink. I'd imagine right after this Hex, you're going to see a Blink out. But an Ensnare, but a Rejuve. Purge on the Rejuve. Rejuve is canceled, and a Blink just to get the Warden into safety, being blocked by the bears. Ensnare on the bear. No Staff of Preservation to save this. And Lightning Orbs and Purges on the bear. This bear's going to fall. And a nice pickoff by Albz. 4 bears in play, 5 bears in play, 1 Dryad. Both heroes online. Blade level 4. Blade's starting to get scary. And we're going to a battle right outside the Night Elf's main base. Focus fire on the bears. No rejuves available. None of these bears are in druid form to cast rejuve. Shamans are prepared, but some focus fire on the Blade Master. Blade Master forced to retreat. Gonna try to take as many casualties as possible, but was not able to secure any additional kills. 2 bears did fall. So some nice pickoff from the Orc player here. But the Night Elf numbers are still strong. 62 food to 48. And the Orc can't match the economy right now. Night Elf has had an expo up for quite some time. Orc still issues at the gold mine. Some macro mistakes. Potentially, but not really lumber blocked. So you just have 2 extra food peons just sitting here. So you're not like really hurting yourself besides just spending 2 extra food. Because you're not at a lumber deficit, so you're okay. But objectively, could be better, right? Shaman a little injured here. Gonna want to maybe have another Shaman or 2 to deal with the rejuves. You want to keep those rejuves offline all fight long. As nighttime is forced by the Night Elf player. Gonna refill these juicy Moonwells. And this is gonna make fighting at the Night Elf base incredibly difficult. As you have a lot of almost filled up Moonwells to heal up any injured units of the Night Elf army.
A player's forces are under attack.
Gonna be tough to take a fight there. But if you could find them at the right point, the Night Elf does not have a scroll. So you're fighting here right now. If you can pick them off right here, prevent them from getting to the Moonwells, you're gonna be in a good spot. Because right now, only access to 3 Moonwells. But you're gonna fall back and now give the Night Elf access to all 5. A position advantage could have been taken there by the Orc, but instead, the Grunt is going to pay for it with his life. Some focus fire onto the Blade Master, trying to push the Blade Master into Windwalk. Meanwhile, Orc focus fire on the bears. Ensnare also on the bears. Healing Wave going out. Trying to salvage the front line of the Orc player. Blade Master chopping up and purging these bears. Blade Master has to retreat back slightly and going to slice and dice a couple Dryads along the way. Orc army just evened the playing field slightly here. But the Night Elf continues to persist. with that Expo, all that extra economy, able to just continually pump bears. Blademaster in trouble. Needs to get back, needs to get some healing. Gonna take some extra damage from the Shadow Strike, minus 30. Another tick. And, oh, the Shadow Strike, it fell off. With 8 health. But the Shadow Hunter out of position is going to pay the price for focusing potentially too much on the Blademaster running away. But it's okay, it's recoverable. The Night Elf army is falling quickly here. Just 2 Dryads remaining, but here come the Chimeras! Surprise! How are you gonna deal with these Chimeras? Some Insnare. Chimera can still attack you from the ground. 1 bear did get away with 1 health! And some extra damage going out onto the Chimera. Blademaster is back to try to even out the score here. Pushes the Night Elf back into another stalemate. An insta-purchase. The Shadow Hunter back.
A player's forces are under
Expo is up. Tonks knows about it. Did scout it. But I don't believe Albz has scouted this Expo, which is pretty well defended. Well fortified. Ancient Protector also in place. Preventing any sort of like cheeky hit and runs from our Orc player. And are these food counts correct here? 73 food to 41 food? I guess it is. A lot of bears. And I think a Chimera was in production. That might be... Have Chimera stopped production? No. Here it is. Alright, over here. Maybe gonna get some attack damage onto this tower here. So Tanks definitely has the food count advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bears, 2 Dryads, and a Chimera ready to harass. Out of range of the tower, gonna fire down some siege damage onto this watchtower.
player's forces are under attack.
Meanwhile, gonna get up to level 5 potentially. Doing anything to get some sort of advantage in this final game here. Oh, and an Insnare, catching that Chimera off guard and will pay the price. That's a nice pick off by the Orc player, but you are behind in food count. 47 food against 77. That's going to be really tough. Really tough battle. A lot of bears now. I think about 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 2 Dryads, level 5 Warden. Close to level 5 Demon Hunter. You're falling behind in hero levels, falling behind in food count, falling behind in economic advantage.
A town is under siege.
This Expo has been up for quite a while. 4,300 gold to 10,000 gold. And the Night Elf's ready to push it all in. Does the Orc have a TP? TP purchased on the Shadow Hunter. Gonna try to get back and prevent this from being the game. 82 food as tonkTanks pushes into high upkeep. Altar is going to fall. No more hero purchases or revives from the Orc player. And it's on in our potential final battle. Mana Burn going onto the Shadow Hunter and Focus Fire going onto the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter does have a heal scroll, scroll protection and heal scroll popped. Maybe want to pass off that scroll of invulnerability to the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter does fall. Blademaster trying to Focus Fire. Get these units down as much as possible, but a lot of Focus Fire going onto the Blademaster now. No mana for the Blademaster to Windwalk, and the Blademaster has fallen with a 225 damage Shadow Strike. And I think the end is here for the Orc player. GGWP as tonkTanks takes Game 3 and the series 2-1. Incredible best-of-3 series in our final week from Albz versus tonkTanks. Wow. And he took it. He did it. tonkTanks came back from Game 2, falling behind in Game 2. And clutch or kick, taking Week 5 against the Monkeys.